everybody, and welcome to episode number 5 of This Week in Legends Racing League. As you can see, we have our original guests. We have Gordon Fan, and we have Irish, who recently rejoined our league from last week. Gordon Fan, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Irish, glad to see you back. It's been a while. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite fine.
Now, this week, not a lot of stuff went down as much as everybody was talking about. As in, for instance, the Cup Series making new rules. Um, there wasn't really much to talk about. So, the videos, I'm going to start out with the videos. The videos, I recorded both videos. The Iowa race for the Xfinity Series would not process. I tried everything. I was tempted to just upload the whole entire video, but I didn't know how you guys would feel about that. So it wouldn't process, and I just got to a point where I got very frustrated with it because I tried anything and everything for it. I was going to just make a recap and show just the important stuff, and it was going to be like a 20-minute video, which I was fine with. It still wouldn't process. There was something wrong with the video or something went down with that. However, for Cup, I didn't even get to edit it. Irish knows this. Being the stupid person I am, we were trying to do we were trying to do the post race interview, right? We were
Uh-huh.
doing we were doing something, and we Irish kept screwing up the intro, so we kept deleting the videos, and I got to a point where I accidentally forgot to press stop on the recording to go and delete it. And me not paying attention, I deleted the race video instead of the post race interview, because I forgot to press stop, and the stop recording button. So I did save the replay. There was a glitch where Irish was running around the track and the race ended, and I saved the replay. I did a broadcast of it. If you guys want me to, I will. I will upload that. That's fine with me. It's about like maybe a 45-minute video. But other than that, we'll talk about it. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to upload that broadcasting, but let's jump into it. Iowa, the return of the 25 car. Irish, it was your first time back ever since New Hampshire. Uh, you know, you were you left the league. Well, let's take it back. New Hampshire, you left the series, and then for the Sunday race, you left the league because you were basically ran over too many times. We penalized the wrong person. We penalized the right person. You were still unhappy with it. Then you went back. I'm assuming you watched the race or you watched part of the race, and you noticed that you were lagging and all of that, and you wanted to rejoin and you apologized to everybody. Now, did you think because you won practice? Ooh, I'm lagging. You won practice and then you won the poll. Did you think you were going to do or be that successful from returning ever since New Hampshire? It's not a long time, but still, getting back into the groove.
Yeah, I definitely thought I was going to be very successful in the race, but I was a little bit, and my car just got really loose. It just got really loose out of nowhere. I don't know what happened. Then I had to fall back, and then I spun out, and then had to go on pit road, get fresh tires. And then it started lagging, and then lagged out of the race. So, I but before the race, I definitely thought I was going to have a very successful race, but I really didn't.
Well, speaking of the actual race, we only had 6 cautions, like usual. That's our pretty much average of getting only 6 cautions. Nothing really too big. Nobody really DNF'd. Nobody, uh, left that I can remember. Pretty much, it was just it was Irish Minor and Predator dominating the race. And I dominated the race. You fell back because you were lagging. and eventually, like you said, you lagged out. Uh, you know, we kept having late cautions, and that's where it got interesting. Dom Vizito almost had the win in the bag, and then a late caution comes out between Dason and Gemini. Dom Vizito tries to hold off Maverick. We go into a green white checkered. Maverick gets, in my opinion, he grows a pair, and he pushes not only me out of the way, but he pushes Don out of the way, and scores his fourth win in Iowa. Um, and it was a crazy finish, and I wish that I had the finish, but I don't, and it was really crazy. I believe I do have the finish now. I'm thinking about it. If I do, I will put it in
Are
right
you all four
now.
lead laps?
Yep.
It's just me and Brandon, and we're both 11 laps down.
Nice and
Correct.
smooth. Nice and smooth.
Oh, true.
He's coming
Oh,
high.
I was not ready for a restart right there. I'm not gonna lie.
Put it on the left.
I was watching the start finish line again.
Car approaching
Whoa,
low.
Nelly.
Outside.
Oh my God. Come on, get off the wall, get off the wall, get off the wall, get off the wall. Alright, we're probably
Irvin,
gonna
I'll
wreck.
help you.
He's right on you.
Don't help me, don't even touch me.
Car outside. At
I'm
your door.
not. Oh,
The tire's
Brandon,
blown.
you
wore
gotta
it
watch
out.
out with that. Do you need brake lights or a bell? Whether you're there at least.
Left side's clear.
Or a bell.
Car inside you. Clear left.
Oh no.
Oh God, Brandon, what are you doing?
I slammed into the lawn, brake push.
Oh, you and me racing.
Checker flag.
Here. Yeah.
Maverick wins his fifth. And if I didn't, I'm sorry, but we will hear from Maverick, and we will talk about that. But let's go Friday night. Let's hear from Maverick. What's going on, everybody? Maverick is climbing out of the car in victory lane. Confetti is shooting. Gatorade's pouring all over the car. Maverick, this is your fifth win, or fourth, I can't remember. It might have been your fifth. Tell us, did you think you were going to be in victory lane tonight?
No.
Man, I swear Maverick's the worst at interviews.
Now, we had a green-white checkered, and let's just say that's where you came the most aggressive driver out of everybody. You pushed not only your team, you pushed your team owner out of the way, and you pushed your teammate out of the way for the win. Tell us what was going through your mind on the green-white checkered.
Try not to kill anybody. I always become aggressive on green white checkers because it's last two laps. That's all for the marbles, so to speak. I really didn't mean to get into Dawn. I had the low line and I just kind of squeezed my way in there. Yeah,
Now,
I didn't really mean to get into it, but I kind of did.
Now moving on to Sunday. Sunday is a new chapter for the Cup Series. We came up with a new rule, me and you. Are you going to like the full damage and full setups? Because you have been so successful in this series that now will we see you successful in Cup?
Hopefully I can turn around. Haven't had the greatest year in Cup, but last year at the same point only had one win, so it's not that much of a difference.
Well, getting into next week, Watkins Glen, you are not a road course driver. Are you excited for Watkins Glen?
No, I hate road courses. They're a pain in the ass.
All right. Well, congratulations, Maverick, getting your fourth win. I did check it. It's your fourth win. Congratulations. And we will see you at Pocono.
Oh boy.
Well, congratulations to you, Maverick, and we will see you at Watkins Glen. And speaking of Watkins Glen, our first race at a road course in the Xfinity Series, and to bring the setups and bring the full damage, guys. Who's going to emerge? What do you guys think of Watkins Glen with these rules package? We're gonna go to Gordon Fan first.
I think it should be fun because I mean, what happened at Pocono and we will get to first. It provided some pretty interesting racing angle, but Watkins Glen is a road course. I think with the new leg, the racing's gonna be more interesting, especially since we're going on. That's all I have to say about it.
All right. Well, you were cutting in and out there, but I'm pretty sure that we got most of the stuff that we got. Irish, you know, it's going to be your second race back in the Xfinity Series. What's your mindset going into Watkins Glen? Because it is not an easy track. Sonoma is not an easy track, but Watkins Glen, it's a test of mind, and it's a test of will, and it's a test of patience. What's your mindset going into Watkins Glen?
My mindset is just to run clean, hopefully not lag. Just at least finish um, into a top 5 finish. This will probably be my first league race at the Watkins Glen, so this should be very interesting. But just my mindset is run clean, have a good car, and just outrun hard. And when the last few laps come, just get what I got.
Now, Watkins Glen, like I said, is going to be very interesting. You said you want to try to race clean, you want to finish the race. Now, with you leaving the league and then coming back, you know, there was some, you could say, punishment or some rules that you had to do. And, you know, like me and Maverick talked about, the rules were that if you got a win, which you already had a win, so that's out of the way. You don't have to win again. But here's the tough part: you're starting with 200 points in both series. We're going to talk about Xfinity more than Cup as of right now because we're on the Xfinity topic. But you're starting with 200 points. You have to get in the top 7. You're only a couple points away. I believe you're only, let me pull it up. I believe you're only 16 points away from making the chase. Let's take a look here. You're actually 100, or you're 111 points. Wow, I was way off. You're 111 points away. Now, in 7th place is X360. He does not have NASCAR 15. So, your chances of getting into the chase, what do you think you're going to get in the chase or not?
Well, it's kind of hard to say right now. There's still 5 races left. But even though X360 doesn't have NASCAR 15, you can still get it at any point. Come back and start racing more. And it's still real hard to say. I'm gonna try to do the best I can to get in it. If I don't, I don't. But I'm gonna try to do the best I can to get back in the chase.
Now, it's going to be a very tough battle. You have to battle with Brandon Wyatt, whose suspension has been lifted in the Cup Series, but that's another story. You have to battle also with Frank, also known as FCGT18, who's also 104 points away. Now, you know, Brandon, you know, he's been finishing in the back of the pack. So, you know, do you think you can, if you win just maybe 2 or 3 races out of the 6 remaining that we have, do you think you can get in?
I think that pretty much, like I said before, anything can happen. Um, with this, a lot of this heat makes my internet really bad right now, so anything can really happen. I can lag out of these races. I can DNF and getting damage. And it's still real hard to say, but definitely gonna do the best I can to get in the chase. It'll be interesting. See what happens.
Now, moving on to our predictions. Gordon Fan, who do you got winning Xfinity and Watkins Glen? Sonoma, we saw Dason almost pull one out. Do you think Dason probably will win this race, or is more likely to win this race, Gordon Fan? Who do you got winning?
Honestly, I got Irish winning this race because I feel that once again he's riding on a wave of momentum. I believe that's gonna carry over to Watkins Glen. But keep in mind, this is his down to got the better car at the end.
All right, Irish. Who do you got? Who do you got winning Watkins Glen?
Which series?
For the Xfinity, sorry.
Xfinity? I'm gonna have to go with Uper or myself.
And why? Why?
Well, you've been pretty quick. Actually, I've never seen anyone run at Watkins Glen, so I'm just going with how you've been racing throughout the whole year.
All right. Well, like you said, Irish, we don't know who's good at Watkins Glen and who's not. Um, I certainly don't feel confident at Watkins Glen, and I don't think we'll finish first, but we'll be competitive. It just matters if we're gonna have late cautions or not, because Maverick, the 48 car, 3 of his 4 races, actually 2 of his 4 races, came from late cautions. Dover, we had a late caution. We went into a green white checkered, and he held both myself and Irish back in the pack and won that race. And then going back to Iowa, last week he late caution, he shoved everybody out of the way, and he won that race. Daytona, he held me off. It wasn't a late caution, and then I ran out of fuel at Kentucky, and he managed to squeeze some fuel out. But moving on, going into Cup, Pocono. It's going to be a historic race. First time ever this league has gone and done a full damage and setups turned on race. This league has been going on since NASCAR '09. I say it's only been open for 2 years because this is my second year owning this league. But, never has this league ever done full damage and full setup. So it was going to be an interesting race. Gordon Fan, this was your first time doing a full setup and full damage race. A lot of people were wondering if you were going to do as good as you were before, where we only had visual damage and no setups at all. And you actually proved people wrong and proved people right as you went on. You were on top of the leaderboard in practice, and then you went on and you won the pole. And right behind you was myself, getting a little bit frustrated. I'm like, somebody hasn't been in the Xfinity Series as long as me, or as long as Maverick or Irish goes and wins the pole, and we get into the race. Gordon fan, like I said, this was your first race doing a full damage and full setups, full race. I don't remember. I know you raced a couple in Xfinity. I can't remember if you finished or not. But what was your mindset when you were on top of the leaderboard in the practice session, and then you went on and won the pole in the qualifying session?
Well, first off, I did compete here in the Xfinity Series, but it was only a practice session at Las Vegas. Again, I just went out there and did what I had to do, and especially since it was a track that I have a good amount of success at, and all in all, I didn't treat it or anything. I just went out there and it apparently worked.
Well, we get into the actual race, and Predator, myself, I take the lead away. You didn't lead the. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, I think you led the first lap, but then I took the lead away from you. But we go back and forth, swapping positions, and then you finally get past me. You were 3 seconds ahead of me, and this is where the drama happens. You come out of turn 3, because Pocono is a triangle. There's no 4 corners. There's only 3. You come out of turn 3. Dason's in front of you. He spins. I'm 3.5 seconds, maybe 4 seconds behind you, and I see this blank black car sitting in the middle of exit turn 3, and I completely run into him. There was no way around him. There was no time to react because you can barely see him in the spot he was in until you actually got real close to him. By the time you got real close to him, you were done. So being me, I blew up. I DNF'd. Irish did the same exact thing. He blew up. Me and him, we were arguing and we were bitching up a storm. We were madder than mad can be.
Madder than Mad Max.
Yeah. There's no word to describe how mad we were. And I was cursing, I was yelling, I was screaming. I was about ready to fly down to Florida and kick some ass. That's how mad I was. Irish, I'm sure you felt the same way. I recently, just before I actually we started recording this, I called Dason and talked to him, and this is what he had to say. He had to say that he was having some issues with his internet connection. He actually lagged out of the session, but when he did, his car was still on the track and it was frozen. Nothing really he can do. So me and Irish complained and got our made a deal basically to everybody that was already in the race, and said, hey, look, we'll go 2 laps down if you back out at lap 35. And they did. They backed out at lap 35. Both me and Irish started 2 laps down. We have 47 laps left. Gordon Fan, Wild Thing, and Gemini were the 3 cars battling for the lead. It was going to be one of those. Now I'm going to Irish. Irish, did you believe that you were going to get back on the lead lap, or even get back on the lead lap and compete for the win?
Oh yeah, I definitely knew I was gonna get at least a lap back, because I kept looking at the leaderboard, and I was getting at least a second each lap on the last place person. So I definitely knew I was gonna at least get on the lead lap, but I didn't know. I didn't know if I was going to definitely get the win, but I knew I was going to get back on the lead lap.
Now, for me, it was different. I thought we were going to have a long green flag run, which we did. Both cautions, there was 2 cautions to get both me and Irish back on the lead lap. The first caution happened Maverick, I believe, he was doing something personal, and he came out of turn one, got loose, slammed up into the wall. There was a big cloud of smoke where I couldn't see if he was staying against the wall or he was coming back down the track into the inside wall. But there was a big cloud of smoke. I slammed on my brakes, and when I slammed on my brakes, I got loose and I spun around, and I barely hit him, and the caution came out because I spun out, and well, technically I lost the momentum and spun out, but caution comes out. Gordon Finn, you're the leader. You pit. Irish, you get the lucky dog, and you take the wave around. I'm still a lap down. I get to take the wave around. Have a long green flag run. Gordon Finn, I'm going to go to you. You and Wild Thing were battling back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth. Wild Thing would lead for 5 laps. Then you would take the lead for 5 laps. And then he would take the lead for 5 laps. And then you would take the lead for 5 laps. You know, did you think it was going to stay under green and it was going to come down to fuel strategy? And since you saw Wild Thing pit early, did you think Wild Thing was going to get the win?
Well, sir, can you repeat that, please?
You know, you guys were battling back and forth, and you know, it was a long green flag run. Both of you had to pit. He pitted earlier than you. Did you think that you were going to lose the race to fuel strategy because he pitted early?
No, I wasn't, because I knew there was going to be more cautions to come, so I figured, nah, I'll just go into the pits and the tires and fuel, try and get an edge on Wild Thing. Because I was on fresher tires, after all. So,
Now,
the fuel strategy thing didn't really bother me too much at all.
now Don Vizito takes the lead. He's going to, you know, he was going to go until he had to run out of fuel. But this is where it gets interesting. Some of you might believe me, some of you might not. But I don't know how to explain this because it's very hard to explain. Me and Maverick, we were battling. I was trying to get back on the lead lap. He's running second. Don Venzito is maybe 2 seconds ahead of him. We come out of turn. We're going into turn 3. He goes very down. He goes down low into the grass in turn 3. I don't know what happens to him, and then he comes back on the track, and I have no time to react. I run in the back of him. He gets loose. He slams. He door slams me. We go into the inside wall. Not necessarily head on, but we go very hard into the inside wall, and both of us caused the next caution. I got the lucky dog. I was back on the lead lap, and I think the quote went like this: "I'm back in the ballpark. Time to change the game." Because you know, before the incident where I had to go 2 laps down, me and Gordon Fan, we were battling for first for a long time. So it was time for Gemini, it was time for me, it was time for Gordon Fan, it was time for Wild Thing to actually show who was better. But yeah, I mean, it was weird because Maverick was solid, or Maverick was ghosted, but his car was still solid, if that makes sense. His car was ghosted. You can hit him as hard as you can and blow up, but he was ghosted. You wouldn't go through him, and he was attached to me like a magnet, and he slammed me up into the wall, and I spun around. We both caused a caution there, but it's very hard to explain and very unusual for that to see, but then again, it is a U-Technics game, so yikes. But moving on, we go into some green light checkers. I get aggressive. Wild Thing gets aggressive. We actually started bump drafting each other. Gemini has some issues where he gets I think right hub was going bad. Gordon Fan, you were battling, and then there was one time where both me and you were battling. And this is where it gets very interesting. I came out of turn 1. You got a bad bad. You got a bad turn basically, or bad corner is what I want to say. I got the run. You jumped to the outside. I stayed on the out, or you jumped to the inside. I stayed on the outside. And then you came up to block me, but you hit my front or my left front corner panel, and I get loose and I slam you, and we both go spinning into the inside wall. Tell us what happened on your screen.
Sorry, that was my dog. What happened was, coming off of turn 1, I saw you coming, so I gave you enough room to let you go, but then, for some reason, you down on me, and then, of course, both of us spin.
Now, I'm sorry, I was drinking some stuff. Now, we'll go to the replay. I will put that clip in. I do have it. I will find it. I will put it in right wall. Oh, what happened here? We're going in. We're gonna go chase you. Wow. Oh man, hard leg, hard leg. We're gonna get a different camera angle. This is real time, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna slow it down a little bit. So 24 goes into the inside. Predator just looks like the 24 just comes up and the 88 gets loose. Find a different camera angle here. Maybe this one. Will help. Nope. Let's go on board with him. So it looks like the 88 gets a good run coming off of turn 1 on the leader of Gornifan. Gornifan looks like he's going to give the position. And it just looks like he just gets into him. And he just gets loose. We're going to go back to the chase view. This is real time. Oh, man. So cautions will be coming out. This is our third caution of the day in this one.
Welcome. Yeah. Predator here. Victor Lane climbs out of the car. Confetti everywhere. Whoa! Comes on over. Hey, Predator. Very, very stressful race. We seen up there. Really in the car. Really, how did it feel?
Oh man, I was very some unchosen words that shall not be said. I was very upset. Let's just say that, man. Throughout the whole entire day, you know, the crew gave me a fast car. I was happy with it. Handled so good. We got in a little bit of trouble, but you know, I'm glad to get my 10th win at a Windows 10 400 and driving my Windows 10 car. It's awesome to be in Victory Lane.
Yeah, we also want to say a good job, and paint scheme looks amazing. But let's go a little bit back to Dason. Really, can tell us what happened there with you and Dason?
Well, you know, Gordon fan passed me. We were trying to catch him. We were catching him. We were setting a fast lap. All of a sudden, the 3 car was spun out in turn 3. and there was absolutely nowhere to go. And you know, we ran into him. We blew up, and the 41 blew up, and it was terrible. You know, a guy that uh, doesn't really know the physics of a race car yet. And you know, I mean, I spun out and I paused. You know, I paused late, but I paused. He had a 3 second, 4 second delay where he could have paused, and he didn't, and I blew up. Fortunately, the guys backed out for me after I kind of yelled at them, but you know, they understood what went down. They understood the consequences of what would happen if perhaps I DNF'd officially. And you know, it's something that the admins should look at. You know, that was ridiculous. You know, it doesn't matter if it's a point penalty. It doesn't matter if it's suspension. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you want to be out here racing with the big boys, you need to know how to race. And pretty much that's what it comes down to. Yeah, I've also heard you say this is your 10th win, and we've looked in the record books, and it looks like Gordon fan has 10 wins also. So how does it feel to be tied with the most wins in the league?
Oh, it feels amazing. You know, last year we were really close. We got 9 wins, and an all-star race win. Now we got 10 wins and an all-star race win. You know, I told everybody, you know, I wanted to win here really bad, and I did. I won. Last year I won this. I stole a win from Gordon Fan. Then he comes back and he wins a couple weeks back, about 7 races back, and he wins that, and I come back a year later and win this race. You know, it's a very tricky track. You know, like I said, to get my 10th win, when sponsors Windows 10 400, and get my, you know, I'm driving the Windows 10, hint 10. It's awesome. I'm glad that I got my 10th win here. I told everybody, you know, I don't care if I win again. In the regular season, you know, I really care if I win and if I don't win in the chase. I didn't do that last year. I didn't win in the chase, and you know, right now, you know, we got 2,000. If the chase started right now, we would have 2,300 points, or 2,100 points. Excuse me. So, I believe that's how it goes, or it might be 2,000, something like that. 2,030. I don't know. But I mean, right now I feel amazing. You know, but getting my 10th win, I'm hoping to steal the most wins in a season. That would be awesome. And getting my third week in a row is awesome too. Third
yeah.
win.
You had pretty much you and Kyle Busch right now, buddy. But you pretty much almost took your answer away from me. To my next question, and that next question will be: do you think you will get another win and get the most wins in this league this season, and where will it be?
Whew. I don't know. You know, we got Watkins Glen coming up. I don't feel confident there. Bristol's coming up. I don't feel confident there. You know, Richmond, we had a fast car. You know, a couple weeks back when we went to Richmond for the Xfinity Series, and with these new rules, you know, I mean, I've already tested there. I've already got my feet dipped into it. I had a really fast car at Richmond. You know, Richmond might be one. Chicagoland might be one. I won there in the Xfinity Series. Same rules as Cup. You know, Michigan is a really good one too. You know, Talladega. You know, I feel like you know, we can do it. It's just a matter of time. And I'm not a very patient man, so it will be interesting where we get this win and how we get it. So I didn't think we were going to win this tonight, but cautions played in our favor, and being very, 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 very aggressive got us to victory lane tonight.
Yep, and we watched you, and you definitely drove the wheels off this thing, bud. Well, and last question I got. There's got to be probably tons and tons of people down in the shop, and probably tons of people you got to thank for getting you here tonight.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of people down at the shop, and probably a lot of people that you wanna thank for getting you here tonight.
Oh yeah, I want to thank a lot of people. I want to thank my team. Maverick, Don, and Irish. They have been doing very very fantastic. Not only in Cup but Xfinity. We've gone several times. 1, 2, 3, 4 in Xfinity. Thought we could do it this week for Cup, but not really. I want to thank Rocket for sponsoring us, NASCAR Leagues for sponsoring us, Microsoft, uh, Windows 10, Diamond Dew, Kelly Blue Book, Nationwide, all these guys that put a lot of hard work into this car. As we like to call him, DFA, he gave us this setup, and we've been using his setups, and it's wicked fast, and I love it. And that's pretty much it. Uh, I'm ready. And the pit crew did awesome tonight, getting us that track position we need. Gray Guives did really good on the box, telling us when we need to pit, when we not need to pit. Telling me to cool down and all that. So he stuck with a like a toddler, not getting what he wanted, and he stuck with it, and he let me cool down and let me get it so aggressive, and he knew that I wanted this win as much as anybody else did. So I want to thank him as most. So.
All right, one more congratulations from all of us here. Please, yeah, I don't know how to end this, but, give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Predator winning the Tricky Triangle.
Woo! All right. Well, congrats from me to me. It was awesome. I have my 10th win. I'm tied with Gordon Fan for the most wins in a season. He got 10 last year. I got 9, and now I have 10, and he has, I believe he has 4. Not very sure on that. But we're going to go to the points. Now, Irish. This is where it's going to get interesting. Xfinity, you're 111 points away from 7th place. 8th place, you're only 64 points away from getting in. Or you're actually, no, I take that back. You're only 51 points away from getting into 1st place. Or 8th place, excuse me. I am not doing good today. But you're only 51 points. Do you think you'll get in the chase for the Cup?
But yeah, I'm definitely gonna get in the chase for Cup. Not trying to win the championship for Cup. I'm more focused on Xfinity because Xfinity is more fun. Not saying Cup is a blast, but I think in Xfinity it would be a lot cooler to win the Cup.
Alright. Well, Watkins Glen is this week for the Cup Series. It's this Sunday. Going into the Watkins Glen, who do you got winning Watkins Glen? Who's your predictions? What's your predictions, I should say?
Well, I still have one question about Dayson. Was he suspended, or like what happened with him?
No, I should have said that. Dayson is not suspended. He was having lag issues. I did see that during the actual race. It would make sense because when I hit him, he didn't move. Normally if you hit a car that's just stopped, it would move a couple feet or it would spin or whatever. He didn't move. It was just like that. and then you hit him, and right when both of us DNF, he got off. You know, so yeah, it was a conspiracy. It looked intentional, but you know, I believe it was lag. You know, I've had issues like that before, not on NASCAR 15, but I had issues on that with NASCAR 14 where somebody lagged out, but the car was still on the track. So
Yeah.
but no, he is not suspended. So your predictions on the Glen?
Okay, since that's all clear, my predictions are as Dason or Gemini.
So one of the GDF racing crew. Why is that?
Yes. Well, first of all, Dason, I watched the Sonoma race. I think it's on YouTube. I don't know. The Sonoma race, and Dason was very, very good at Sonoma. He's also said he's very good at road races. So I think he's got what it takes to win at the Glen. For Gemini, he he tweets on Twitter, and I quote, "Looking forward to the Glen, putting the paddle shiftlers to good use this weekend." So I think he's got pretty good confidence going in the Glen, and that's pretty much what you need to win at a road course. You need confidence and a good car.
And that's what you need. You know, my predictions, like I said, I would say Dason, but you never know. You know, Gordon Finn could get really aggressive. He's really good at road courses too. Wild Thing, it could be a wild card. He can go in there, and then we can have late cautions. And who is the best at late cautions? Maverick. You know, he would get back in the pack. But this is a big track, and like Maverick said, and I quote, "I am not good at big tracks. I'm good at the ones that are a mile and a half, like Texas and Kansas, or I'm somewhat good in short tracks. But the cookie cutters are what I'm suitable for." But I mean, Maverick is very good, or he's very good on late cautions. You know, Irish, you want to get in the chase, so you're probably going to do whatever it takes. Like I said on Twitter, I said I have two different setups. One's fast but uncontrollable, and one is smooth but semi-fast. And I went on, I'm like, curse you, brain, and I can't decide what I want. And that's why I love these practices before the qualifying, to see. Therefore, I have the two setups. I can be like, okay, this setup is really good. It's fast, but it's uncontrollable. And then I try the other one, and I'm running with, you know, Irish, or I'm running with Gordon Fan, or I'm running with Gemini, you know, and go from there. But you know, it will be interesting. You know, I want to say Dason will get the win, but you never know. Gordon Fan can sneak in there like he did at Sonoma and win. Or, like I said, Wild Thing, you know, he's been doing good the past 2 or 3 races. He can show up. And then, like I said, Maverick, those late cautions, if we have them, watch out for him. So, I don't think I'm going to get my 4th win in a row. I don't have the confidence like I do. It's going to be interesting. So, watch out for Watkins Glen. Irish, do you have anything else to say?
That'd be another.
So that's basically it for this episode. I told the guys before this, I was like, it's not gonna be we don't really have anything to really talk about, because nothing really happened besides, you know, the Dason thing and Maverick pushing his teammates out of the way for the win. But nothing really happened. So, you know, this is a short video. That's why I threw in the post race stuff and the clips, all that. So I hope you enjoy. Watch out for Watkins Glen this week. You know, it will be interesting, especially with full damage and setups. It's going to be fucking awesome. Thank you for watching, and we will see you at Watkins Glen.
Uh-oh, here we go.